Hello, Sport. I'm Stu Cavanaugh to see Jessica Reardon.
You with the police?
No, I'm Private Dick.
The butler's in the library with the doctor. It's a bit of a nasty business, old Eric being killed like that in his own bedroom with his own gun.
Yeah, that's not too friendly.
The police were here most of the night. A bit of a strain.
Aren't you coming?
I'll see you on the court.
I could see how upset everybody was. I'd done this kind of thing before. When rich people don't trust the cops to come up with the right answer or to be tactful, and rich people usually have a few skeletons to hide.
I really don't see why Jessica would want to hire a private detective.
Miss Cavanaugh.
Mrs. Reardon, how do you do?
Miss Reardon. Derek was my brother.
I'll see you later, I'm sure.
All right, thank you, pal.
Jessica Reardon had that nice, fresh, direct quality you usually only get from a long-distance telephone operator. And she had talked the other members of the household into seeing me, so
Where do you want to start?
I started with the resident doctor.
By the way, Pembroke, where were you at the time of the murder?
Mason, I was in the drawing room with Miss Jessica discussing today's menu.
Dr. Moorfield, you live here, is that right?
It's convenient. Derek Reardon was my only patient.
He was sick, huh?
A hypochondriac. Not to the point where it inconvenienced him, just other people.
That's interesting.
You mean suspicious? Well, I guess I had a reason for hating him. 5 years ago, I had a thriving practice. Derek was one of many, but he was possessive. I didn't think it strange at the time, but one by one, my patients all found other doctors. He seemed eager to take up the slack. I found out he was spreading rumors about my competence.
Still sounds like a cushy job.
I shouldn't complain. He left me quite a tidy sum in his will.
It occurred to me that putting your doctor in your will was just begging for trouble. I let it pass. Of course, Derek Reardon was no stranger to trouble, was he?
You've got yourself quite a job. Just about everyone hated Derek Reardon.
Can you describe last night for me?
He was drinking wine at dinner and complaining of indigestion. The police are checking the wine glass. It seemed suspicious to me even at the time. Halfway through dinner, he left. I gave him his vitamin shot in his room and then came down. In the evening after dinner, I like to sit in the study with a book. I was there when we heard the shot. I recognized it as coming from upstairs, and after some moments of general confusion, I went into the hall and up the stairs.
The shot had definitely come from upstairs?
Of course. It had been only half a minute or so since we heard the shot, but Derek was there alone and dead.
Who's the first to approach the body?
I was, naturally. He'd been shot only once, and his gun, the one he kept loaded in his top drawer, was on the floor behind the desk. I remember Elisa began screaming, and Tom took her out of the room.
You ever alone with the body?
For a short while.
Who knows the most about his private life?
Helena Crane. I was his private secretary.
Hey, tell me a little about the family, Helena.
Well, there's his wife, Elisa. Her great ambition is to become a radio actress. Don't ask me why. She talked Mr. Reardon into sponsoring her in a one-woman radio drama. Anyway, it turned out to be a giant fiasco, and the last time Mr. Reardon tried to push her career. Tom is Mr. Reardon's younger brother. He's a bit of a ladies' man. He's also deeply in debt. Gambling, I expect. This might help. Mr. Reardon was going to change his will.
Oh.
My guess is cut out Dr. Moorfield and put in Sissy. But he never got the chance. Cecily Loper, 17. She's a distant cousin of the family and came to live here 6 months ago. Mr. Reardon was captivated. A cheap piece of goods, but she could twist him around her little finger. She'd be the last one to want to see him dead.
Where was Sissy at the time of the murder?
I saw her go up to her room for a minute, and then she went out for a walk. I suppose she heard the shot and came back.
And you?
I was on the telephone in the pantry. A business call to our Chicago representative. When I heard all the commotion, I told Bill something was amiss, and I'd call him back. Then I ran up the back stairs.
Tell me, where does Reardon keep his valuables?
Locked in the bottom right drawer of his desk.
The butler snuck up on me. He's kind of a silent butler. Said it was a phone call for me.
Hi, boss. Max. I found something you might like. Helena Crane. Her father was Jonathan Crane. Sound familiar? He was Reardon's big competitor a few years back. Reardon drove Crane out of business, and Crane went out and shot himself.
So why would Helena Crane be working for Reardon?
My guess is that Reardon felt guilty about Crane's death and decided that hiring his daughter at a fat salary was one way to make it up.
Okay, thanks, sweetheart. Bye.
Bye.